What's going on, everyone? This is my entry to the Vinyl Richie contest. Now, I only became aware of this contest because I saw Aaron, Metal Theologian's video recently. So I'm well aware now that the contest has already been closed. And I guess it has turned into a tag, more or less. But yeah, anyway, I thought these prompts were just too funny to pass up, so I wanted to make a video, so let's dive right in. So the first prompt is, show a fat dude on the cover. Now, I don't own a lot of albums with fat dudes on the cover, but you can see there's some grave robbing action going on. And I don't know, man, the fact that it's a fat dude doing the grave robbing, for some reason, that just makes it all the more disturbing. So, so yeah. Next up, show an album that shows how Vinyl Richie dances. So I picked out this one by OCBisa. Now I gotta say, I'm still relatively new to Vinyl Richie's channel, even though he's been active in the vinyl community for 11 years. And yeah, that's what the contest was about. But anyway, so from what I've seen, his dance moves probably closely resemble the way this guy dances. Or maybe even how this guy dances. So, so yeah, this album is called Oja Awake. This one has the coffee song on it. Now, the coffee song is one of those rare instances where a happy upbeat song, it's a happy upbeat song that makes me genuinely happy, you know, because most happy songs just make me miserable. So there's that. Next up, show an album that shows beer or a backyard. Now, picked out this album, Third by Soft Machine, and when you open it up, you see the gatefold, see all the guys chilling in a room, and in the middle of the picture there, on the coffee table, there's this bottle of wine, and I guess at least a couple of bottles of beer, and it looks like they're having a cup of tea as well. But I don't know, man, whatever they're drinking, it looks like they probably need it. Because some of the guys look like they just received some bad news. But yeah, they look very, very cheerful in this photo. So I always thought that was a pretty funny photo, man. All right. Next up, show an album that was recommended by someone in the VC. Now, actually, I was going to show the album Fingernails by the band Fingernails. Now, it's still open on my one of my browser tabs because I want to order it. But the thing is, I just have a couple of more things coming in the mail. I have a couple of things in pre-order, and the thing is, I don't want to order too much at once because I just lose track of everything that's coming in. It's a bit of a hassle too, and yeah, I don't know, just a good way to keep your expenses in check as well. So anyway, oh yeah, next up is show an album that has band members on the cover but does not include the singer. Now, picked out this one, Live in Sarpsborg, Jesus Christ, by M.I.A. This is part of a series they did in the early 90s, where they released 4 live albums, and each one depicts one member of the band on the cover. This is the bass player, Necro Butcher, and when you turn it over, see in this photo, I guess technically speaking, all the band members are in the frame. This blur, I think, is the vocalist, Dad. But I don't know what he's doing, so he's not very visible in the photo. So I think it still counts. So yeah, that's that. Show an album with a name of a band you can't pronounce. Now, this is an album by a band called, let me see if you can see that, M.I.A. Bliss? How do you pronounce this? M.I.A. Bliss. And the album title too, man. Abrahamic Godhead besieged by adversarial usurpation. I mean, try saying that 20 times in a row. I mean, but absolutely vicious album, man. Fucking great album this is. Alright. Oh yeah, next up, show an album that has, with a cover that has something to do with the digestive system. And I picked out 2 albums, and I could have picked a couple because I have a couple of gore grind albums. You know, the gore grind guys, they're big into their pathology, right? Disembowelment, entrails, stuff of that nature. So this is a Carcass live bootleg on Reek of Death. And I always thought this drawing is pretty funny, man. So whoever is behind these live boots on Reek of Death, they do all the covers as well. So they just always do original artwork, or at least most. For at least for the live bootlegs, they do the original artwork, and it looks like they are disemboweling Eddie from Iron Maiden. So that's pretty cool. And I got another one that has to do with the digestive system, or at least it seems like Satan himself has some digestive issues. He's got the runs. I don't know what he ate the night before, but probably some really hot chili peppers. This is also a boot on Reek of Death, by the way. But I mean, this album cover is just absolutely hilarious, man. Fucking awesome. So there you go. And oh yeah, show an album that you wouldn't think Vinyl Richie would have in his collection. Now, I could have grabbed any metal or any extreme metal album from the shelf, like the ones I just showed you, but yeah, that's pretty boring. So I thought I would pick an album that is at least adjacent to the music he seems to like. So from what I've seen, Vinyl Richie is really into punk. He's really into psychedelic, and now this is an album by the Tielman brothers, and this is a massively important band in the history of Dutch rock music and Dutch pop music. There's great footage on YouTube of them doing the song Rolling Rock. Highly recommend you guys check it out. It was done in the mid 50s rock and roll. But this is a later album by them. Little Bird came out originally in 1968. Now this is a repress from 1970, and this has a different cover. And I always thought it was funny that the album is called Little Bird, but instead, yeah, there's no birds on the album cover, but instead they're holding these prairie dogs, I think, or jackals, or hyenas, or I don't know, whatever they're holding. But yeah, man, look at the way they're dressed, man. Absolutely cool as shit, man. But yeah, this is more of an R&B album, I would say. R&B with some really cool fuzzed out guitar work, and the vocal harmonies on this album are absolutely phenomenal. Just really goosebump inducing. I mean, this is an album that what would you say? I'm kind of out of my element with this type of music, to be honest. But even though this is one of my favorite records I have in my collection. There's a song here called "Don't You Believe It," and that's my favorite song on this album. Yeah, like I said, really awesome vocal harmonies, just an absolutely killer fuzzed out guitar on that track. Yeah, just fucking great songs, man. They do a cover of Hound Dog, which is actually the closing track on the album. And I would highly suggest looking up that cover that he did, because it's fucking blistering. It's super psychedelic, super fuzzed out, and it sounds like a cover from hell. You know, there's some screaming in the background. It's really great stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. That's what Richie would say. Okay, next up, We Don't Need No Shirt. Napalm Death, Utopia Banished. I don't know, after some kind of nuclear fallout, it seems. Yeah, you don't need a shirt. So there's that. Show an album and give very little detail about it, and make sure to say it's fantastic. So Chris Squire, you know, bass player from Yes, first solo album, and it's fantastic. Fantastic. Next up, show a punk album with a hole in the middle. You know, the Misfits, obviously the Crimson Ghost is in the middle, or somewhat in the middle. And, you know, obviously it's a skull. And it's a nose hole. So, yeah, moving on. Show an album with a beautiful woman on the cover. No, I couldn't pass this one up, man. So this is again another Soft Machine album, Volume 2. So this is a weird one, because this is supposed to be a reissue from 1977, and this is an alternate cover that was done by a Dutch design studio. Now this repress came out on ABC Records, but what's weird is that I think someone Frankensteined the cover with the actual record, because the record that was in it, as you can see, it's not on ABC Records. I have no clue what kind of pressing this is. So you guys tell me, is this a first press? Is this a second press? I have no clue, absolutely no clue. But so yeah, I don't know what happened there, and I probably should have done my research before buying this. I mean, anyway, I would have bought it anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, you just don't pass up a cover like this, man. Fucking awesome. So all right, let's see. Show an album that has something you would take to a party. Now, oh man, let's see. This album, man. I found this in the bargain bin for €1. And I was like, how can I pass this up for €1? Fucking awesome, man. So this is like a really cheesy 60s rock and roll. Like, you know, cheesy Germans trying their hand at rock and roll in the 60s. That's one side of the album. And then the other side is just really cheesy 60s, easy listening, cocktail music, lounge music, whatever you want to call it. Just objectively bad music, but for some reason I really like easy listening music. Actually, I did a video about why I collect what I collect, where I talk about my love of easy listening music. So yeah, check that one out if you like. But on to the next one. Show an album that has a sealed outer sleeve. Now, pick this one. This is M.I.A, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now you see this isn't one of those outer sleeves with a flap. It doesn't even seal properly anymore. It's just, see the flap opens like this. These sleeves are just a pain in the ass. I mean, fucking hell. But the only reason I'm keeping it in the sleeve is because it has the hype sticker on it, as you can see. So yeah, I don't know. Next up is show a sexy album cover featuring shirtless men. Now, I'm gonna cheat a bit because, I mean, technically speaking, you could say these are shirtless men, but as you can see, yeah, shirtless demons or fallen angels, I guess that's more accurate to say. It's like he's making a phone call, you know. Get me out of here! Why have you forsaken me, Lord? But anyway, I think God was jealous of these fallen angels, man, because he was probably like, we can't have all this roughness around here, you know. We can't have all these jacked angels roaming around in my kingdom. I think God was just a little insecure that day. You know, they say that Satan was jealous of God, and that's why he was cast out of the kingdom of heaven. But I think it's the other way around, man. I think God was jealous of Satan. So, all right, that was that. Show an album with weapons or a scene of violence. Now, I could have picked so many records for this prompt. I mean, you could just basically pick any metal record, right? Any extreme metal record. So I picked two metal records, and I wanted to pick a non-metal record as well. So let's start with the metal record. Structure, brutal desecration. You can see this guy's head is getting chopped clean off. Fucking amazing, man. Absolute killer artwork. And then the other metal record I picked out was this Nuke album. Super fun album, self-titled. And you know, this is not so much a scene of violence, but it depicts, I guess, the aftermath of a violent act. You know, you got some I guess this is the aftermath of a nuclear fallout in a sense. Oh, you have these shredded strands of DNA, but there's also some violence committed against old ladies on this album, because this album has some really great lyrics. So on the song Hell Rider, let me see, where is it? Oh yeah, they sing about full throttle, pass that bottle, baby. Chuck it out the window, hit that old lady. So that's yeah, just a fun record, man. Just cool blackened thrash metal, blackened speed metal, Nuke, self-titled. Fucking awesome, man. Now the only non-metal record I have in my collection with a violent with a depiction of violence is this one, Spooky Tooth. You broke my heart, so I have to open the gatefold for this. You broke my heart, so I busted your jaw. Look at that. Look at that drawing, man. Fucking great drawing. Now, you guys tell me, is this the same artist that did the artwork for Come's first utterance? Because the drawing style is very similar. And the drawing style also reminds me of M.I.A. Blitz. Actually the first and second M.I.A. Blitz albums. But yeah, I always love that drawing, man. Fucking phenomenal. So let's see, yeah, man. Oh yeah, show an album of someone that could beat up Gigi Allin. Now I have let's see, I have a couple of I forgot a prompt. Show an offensive album. And the first one that came to mind was this one, More Than Red, Eat Pussy for Satan. Now, there's not a lot of offensive albums coming out these days, but this is definitely one of them. You know, coming out of the gate with the song My Hatred Burns, fucking awesome. And the second song, and I think it's a typo in the title, but it says "Spread the Convent with AIDS." So that's fucking funny, man. But yeah, on all the other platforms, the song is called "Infect the Convent with AIDS." So I think that's the actual song title. And my favorite song on the album is "I Killed 3 People with a Crowbar," and it's just fucking funny, man. For some reason, I picture the guys in More Than Red beating someone over the head with a crowbar album. So that's pretty funny, man. Actually, too, I think the Have to Bliss album is pretty offensive as well, because these guys, they launch an all-out spiritual attack on all Abrahamic religions. Look at that album cover, man. That's some evil fucking shit. Holy smokes, man. Or unholy smokes, I should say. Look at these dudes, man. Fucking awesome. Oh yeah, so the next problem is show an album of someone that could beat up Gigi Allin. Yeah, man, these guys could beat up Gigi Allin, alright. Fucking awesome, man. Also, those guys in the Destructor album I just showed you, they can beat up Gigi Allin as well. But also, let's see, man. These guys in Zeke, I think they could, or at least a drummer, can beat up Gigi Allin. He's Mr. Donny Paycheck there. He's flipping the bird. It's just funny to imagine that he flips Gigi Allin off, you know, in the crowd. Gigi Allin trying to stage some antics, you know, trying to throw shit or blood or whatever. And Mr. Donny Paycheck is like, "Nah, fuck you, man, get the fuck out of here." Anyway, so pretty funny. Yeah, show an album of outsider music. Now, I don't own a lot of outsider music, to be honest. It's kind of a nebulous term, right? Outsider music, because a lot of music can fall under that umbrella. Now I have I have a 7-inch that you could technically consider outsider music, but I don't have a lot to say about it. So that would be a bit too boring, but instead I picked this album, Voivod. Now, Voivod to me is an outsider band, because think about it. The most boring thing you could say about Voivod is that they're a thrash metal band. Yeah, and then later they evolved into a progressive metal band, and then now they're back to being a thrash metal band, whatever, blah 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 blah. But yeah, these guys, they never sounded like anything else. They never sounded like the Bay Area trash. They never sounded like The Teutonic thrash scene, they always were outside of the norm with every album that they ever did, musically and aesthetically as well. Now this album is, I would say, an outsider even in their own catalog. This was released in 1997 on an album called Hypnotic Records, and that's pretty apt because this album is really, really hypnotic. Now this is my favorite Voivod album too, and now I'm a bit biased because this was the first Voivod album I ever heard. When I was 12, I went to the local library and saw this one in the bin, and I had heard the name Voivod a couple of times before, or at least I saw the name Voivod. I kind of knew who they were, but I also I had no frame of reference. I know there was a band called Voivod, so I picked up this album. It's this goofy little monster on the front. I took it home with me, so I was 12 years old at the time. I took it home with me, put it on a CD player, and I lie down on my bed. And what I heard next was just fucking terrifying. I mean, the way this album opens up, super creepy, super eerie. You know, you have these there's this very hypnotic electronic intro. It goes like a boom 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 boom, or a boom 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 boom. And then after a couple of seconds, or after a minute or so, you have this towering riff. It seems like it's being beamed in from another dimension. Absolutely, I mean, this album is a fucking mind trip, you know. And there's a lot of these electronic interludes like that on this album. They really set the tone, man. Really set the atmosphere. But also the production on this album is unlike everything I ever heard. I mean, there's tons of bands coming out at the moment, especially in the death metal style of things, where they're trying to be like, what would you say? They're trying to sound like they come from a Lovecraft novel, right? Like they incorporate lots of cosmic horror elements in the music and aesthetically, but none of them hold a candle to this album. I mean, even though this is not death metal, of course, but none of them hold a candle to this album. This is, I mean, when you open it up, so this is also too at a weird point in their career, right? When they were a three-piece. So the only original members in the band at the time are Away, the drummer, Away and Piggy. And then they had this guy, Eric Forrest, aka E-Force, on vocals and bass. And to be honest, man, I kind of prefer his vocals over Snake. Now I know Snake is more influential, he's more important. Yeah, I don't know, but it's also too because this is the first album I heard by them, so imagine, man, being like 12 years old, listening to this album for the first time, not knowing what you're listening to, and then you open up the booklet, you see all this crazy imagery, you're like, it just makes your imagination run wild, you know. It just really sounds like it's like you've been captured by a hostile alien race, you know. I mean, look at that! What the fuck is even that, you know? This guy, holy shit, man! Even to this day, man. Even to this day, when I look at these visuals, I get the same feeling I did when I was 12 years old. So right, yeah, man, Voivod, fucking phenomenal album, absolutely great stuff. All right, now the last prompt is show an album from when you were 11 and one that's 11 years old. Now I have to really look in my collection because I don't have a lot of albums from when I was 11. This is the only one. I mean, I have a couple of albums from when I was 10 and when I was 12. So this is POD Satellite. And I gotta say, I still like this album, man. You know, this was a huge album back in the day when this came out. Songs like Youth of the Nation, that was a really big hit. Also Alive, that was another big hit. But I mean, these are a bunch of Christ boys. Which was funny because I didn't realize it at the time. But this is a weird album too, because there's even a feature of by HR from the Bad Brains. He does vocals on this album as well. Yeah, I don't play this album a lot anymore, but I still have fond memories of this. So yeah, man, whatever. Every once in a while, when I'm in a nostalgic mood and I want to hear some of that really clean, crystal clearly produced alternative rock, then this is what I'm reaching for. Now, an album that's 11 years old, I really had to dig for this because it's always really hard for me to think of a certain year, and try to think like, okay, what albums do I have in my collection that came out that year? Now, also too is, I don't have a lot of albums that came out between 2013 and 2018, because that was a really weird time for me, for various reasons. I didn't pick up a lot of music that was released during that time. So I'm just going to show an album that was released last year. That's one of my favorite albums from last year. Chaos Inception, Vengeance Evangel. Fucking intense death metal. Great album, man. So yeah, man, that was it. That was a really fun one to do. So see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.